Namaskar to all of you children. In our previous class, we had started with the second chapter of biology of class 9th, that is the tissues. We studied about tissues as a group of similar cells, similar in structure and origin, that work together as a team and perform some specific function. We also studied about plants and animal tissues, how they differ from each other. Then we had started with our detailed study of plant tissues. We studied that plant tissues are of two types, meristematic and permanent. Meristematic tissues are the ones which keep on dividing throughout their lives. So children, today we are going to move ahead in our study of plant tissues, and let us get started. We studied that plant tissues are meristematic and permanent depending upon their ability to divide. The meristematic tissues, they keep on dividing throughout their lives. While permanent tissues are the ones who have lost their ability to divide. In our previous class, we have already studied about the three types of meristematic tissues: the apical meristem, the lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. So now we are going to focus upon the permanent tissues. Permanent tissues we will be studying in three broad categories in our class 9 syllabus of CBSE. The first category is that of simple permanent tissues. Simple by the name because they are very simple in structure and all the cells are alike. The complex permanent tissues are the ones in which there may be two or more types of cells which are together performing some specific function. For example, this is cell A, this is cell B, this is cell C, and this is cell D. So together they will, and in this they are all A types. So over here they group together to perform some specific function. Over here these A, B, C, D, they group together to perform some specific function. So this is the main difference. The third category that we have to study, the permanent tissues, are the protective tissues, the ones which protect the plant from the external environment, in which we will be studying two topics, epidermis and cork, in detail. So now let us start with the study of simple permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues may be of three main types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Now we are going to take each of them. Let us start first. We will talk about parenchymatous tissues. Now see children, the parenchyma cells, they are compulsorily, they are living cells, and they are thin walled. Now if you see the cells, I have made the nucleus. These are simple cells, as the name indicates. Simple parenchyma, simple permanent. It has got nucleus, which means that it is a living cell, and it has got prominent, I will be drawing two layers to show that these are plant cells. Always we should draw two layers, one for cell wall, the inner one for cell membrane. This is the vacuole, cytoplasm, and nucleus. So in case of parenchyma, the cell wall is very thin. Okay? The nucleus, the cytoplasm, and the vacuole, they are very prominent. So prominent nucleus, cytoplasm, and vacuole. Now children, these are mostly unspecialized. Unspecialized means they are not having a very specific function. However, we'll get to know that they are forming the ground tissue or the storage tissue of the plant. That means just beneath the epidermis, everything within the plant is our parenchyma, apart from the other specialized cells. Now they have got large intercellular spaces. If you see, there are spaces between the cells. Okay, and there are no deposition on cell wall, which means that the cell walls are very simple and thin. Now, as I told you, it forms the ground tissue of the plants, and because it has got a prominent vacuole, it provides turgidity and a bit shape to the plant. And it also acts as a packaging tissue. It is filled everywhere and it stores food also. So children, we need to study these three forms of parenchyma. Sometimes the parenchyma cells, these are tall and pillar-like, and they store starch. They are starch storing cells. In them, we call these parenchyma as prosenchyma. Alright? Sometimes the parenchyma cells, they possess chloroplasts. Now, due to the presence of chloroplasts, they perform photosynthesis. So, similarly, from the word chloroplast or chlorophyll comes chloro, so it becomes chlorenchyma. Let us see the third one, the arenchyma. Sometimes, mostly in aquatic plants, the parenchyma is so arranged that it has got large air cavities formed by their arrangement. They have got air gaps. Now, these air gaps provide buoyancy to the structure, and the plant is able to float on the surface of water. Children, now we will discuss the second type of simple permanent tissue, which is the collenchyma. So children, collenchyma is very similar to the parenchyma, as you see in the diagram. These are living cells. They have got prominent nucleus, cytoplasm and vacuoles. The cell wall is thin usually, but at the corners, now see, corner means the place where the two cells are coming in contact, the edges. If you see, the corners, they are thickened. This is the only difference. Suppose these are the, if I say these are the parenchyma cells. So, if I add these thickenings on the corners where the two cells are joined, it becomes collenchyma. So, the cell wall is thin overall except at the corners. And why is this thickness? This is because of the deposition of cellulose and pectin. It is very important to remember these two terms. Normally, cellulose is present in all the type of in the cell wall of all the types of cells, but over here, because of this particular substance, pectin, what happens? The corners of the cells become a bit stiff. So, of course, when this space is all filled, so there will be very little intercellular space left in them. As you can see, we can see this blue colored thickenings of pectin and cellulose. So what is the function of collenchyma? Now I said it is very similar to parenchyma. Now if you see, is the leaf, or these are the branches. Or many times you must have seen the structure called tendril, isn't it? So this part of the leaf and the tendril and these branches, soft branches, they have got this collenchyma present just below the epidermis, means outermost, below the outermost level layer, the collenchyma is present. And what does it do? It provides flexibility to the plant part. And what happens when there are strong winds or rain, these parts do not break. You must have seen the plants moving like this from here and there, even in strong wind, but they do not break their parts easily. So this is because of this particular tissue called collenchyma, which provides flexibility and allows easy bending. That means it provides strength to the plant. The third category of our simple permanent tissue is the sclerenchyma. Now, just like the previous two, these were living, both of them. Sclerenchyma is a dead tissue, and the main function of sclerenchyma is to provide strength and rigidity, the firmness to the plant. Wherever there is the requirement of strength, the sclerenchyma is present. Now, children, the sclerenchyma, these are made up of dead, thick-walled, fiber-like cells. They do not have any protoplasm. That means no nucleus. If you can see this cell, there is no nucleus, no cytoplasm, no vacuole. What do you see? Only a thick cell wall. Now the cell wall is highly thickened. Over here, this is the longitudinal section. If you see the transverse section, over here you see there is very narrow lumen, very little space. Now over inside the cells also there is very little space, and outside also, if I say, they are tightly packed, and there is no intercellular spaces between them, and the cells are highly thickened. Now these thickenings on the walls are not only on the corners like it was there in collenchyma. Collenchyma, which was present in the tendrils and soft stems and leaves, stalks, it was allowing the movement, it was allowing the bending. But wherever this sclerenchyma will be present, the plant part will be very tough and rigid. So there is no space within the cell also, and there is no intercellular spaces because they are so tightly packed. Now why? This is because of this special substance called the lignin. So that is the reason we say that these are lignified walls. Wherever you read this term lignified, you should immediately click in your brains that we are talking about sclerenchyma. Lignin is deposited on the walls, and this is providing the strength. Now lignin is just like cement. Now suppose these are the cells and the cement is just keeping them, holding them all together. So it is just like a cementing material, children. So let us just see where these sclerenchyma cells you will find. Of course, you will find them in stem. You know that they are present in the bark of the tree, bark of the stem, plant. If you remember the Robert Hooke observation, what was he observing? Correct. He was just observing the cell walls, and he was observing the sclerenchyma only. There was no protoplasm. It was basically dead cells. and they are also present in the veins of leaves because they give a little firmness, and within the veins they allow the movement of water also. You study in your conducting tissue or the vascular tissue. Nuts and seeds, you've seen cashew nut, pistachio nut, the covering is so very hard. The nut within the if you see within the mango, the seed, which is, it is so hard, we call it stone. Now around the vascular bundles also you will find the presence of sclerenchyma. Both xylem and phloem you have seen that they have got, so you will see that they will be having sclerenchyma or the fibers. Now depending upon the shape, the sclerenchyma can be either these long cells with tapering ends like this, they are known as fibers, or they could be circulars and they may be called as stone or grit cells. The fibers are present just like in husk of coconut and in the stem, and stone or grit cells are present in the nuts and seeds, coconut and all. There the stone or grit cells are present. So children, this was all about the simple permanent tissues. We'll just do a little quick recap. We have studied simple permanent tissues. They are made up of, correct, only one type of cells, one type of similar cells which are similar in structure as well as origin. All of them, they are same, and together they perform a specific function. Then we saw the three types of simple permanent tissues. The parenchyma, which forms the ground tissue or the storage tissue of the plant. Throughout it is present, root, stem, leaves, everywhere, fruits, flowers, everywhere this you will find. It is a living tissue. All cells are similar, thin walled. Okay. Then we saw collenchyma, which is present in the leaf, stalks, soft stems. It is also present in the tendrils just beneath the epidermis, and it allows flexibility and movement of the plant parts. Last but not the least, we studied about sclerenchyma, which is basically a dead tissue, and it has got yes, collenchyma, the deposition of pectin is there. The deposition of pectin over here, parenchyma, the cell wall was made of only cellulose. Over here, collenchyma, cellulose plus pectin, and over here in sclerenchyma, lots and lots of deposition of lignin we saw, which gives strength to the sclerenchymatous tissue. Children, that is all for today, and I will request you to study the comparison of these three types of simple permanent tissue and their structure as well as their function. Often there is a question on comparison of these three. Thank you. Namaskar.